Hey there folks, this is DMC Jedi Man. I'm coming to another video. Today's a bit of a different video, but I wanted to do something kind of special because, as you can probably see by the title, this is the 500th subscriber special. Thank you all for getting me up to 500 subscribers. It is one of those landmarks I never expected I'd get to. My channel was, at about like 10 or 20 people for many, many years. And in the last like 2 to 3 years, it has really blossomed. So thank you all to all of you who have been with me since the beginning. Those of you who've gotten here because of my Ghostbusters content, or those of you who really like that My Hero Academia Bakugo What the Crap video. 48,000 views that video has. I'm still blown away by that. But as you can see, I do have a Ghostbusters shirt on. Today is a Ghostbusters video. But before I tell you all what it is, don't forget, if you like my content, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to stay notified. Check out my gaming channel if you like sometime. DMC Jedi Man Gaming. I do video game Let's Plays over there. Some of them are very rage-inducing games, so you may see a different side of me that you don't see here, so just fair warning. And feel free to follow DMC Jedi Man's Den on social media. I currently have a page for Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. And I do have high hopes for the Discord once I actually get people joining it. Links to everything will be in the description of this video below. So today, as the title suggests, I am showing off my entire Ghostbusters physical media collection. Now, what that entails is every single bit of media for movies, music, and video games. So that means all my tapes, all my CDs, all of my records, all of my laser discs. Like, I have a fairly extensive collection. I have some pretty cool gems. Where applicable, I'll tell you some of the stories on a couple of the pieces, how I acquired them. It is definitely a massive undertaking, and I'm going to try and go as in order as I can for when they were released. I'm going to start obviously with the movies and cartoons. Then I will move on to the music, and then the video games will take up the last spot. So starting us off is this little number. Now this is the Ghostbusters Betamax tape. Now you can see that compared to a VHS tape, it is a lot smaller. I believe this does, it opens up similar to the VHS tapes. You can see the Ghostbusters label there, and you can see what a Betamax tape actually looks like there. Now, I actually what was that fell? Something fell off of this. I don't like that. This little sticker thing fell off. Oh, shoot. Oh, gotta be careful with some of these. Yikes, I almost took the entire top label off of my Betamax. That would have been not so good. So I ended up picking this up from a thrift store called Battery Street Jeans. I saw it there. It's like, I don't have any Ghostbusters beta tapes. Obviously, well, not obviously, since I haven't gone to the next thing yet, but I am still looking for the Betamax copy of Ghostbusters 2 to complete my Betamax set. And honestly, I don't have a Betamax player, so even if I get them, I can't watch them, but they do look pretty awesome in the collection. This is actually one that hadn't been put on my shelf yet, so it will be soon. Now, the next one up is something I don't think a lot of people have. This is the Ghostbusters video disc. Now, as you can see, this is very much different. It's got like this tray thing that pulls out, I think, in the machine. It's got, more or less the same cover for the VHS version. On the back side, you have these three promo shots. along with the write-up and a little thing showing off the cast. And then, in order to differentiate on the shelf, you can see it says, well, I don't know that my camera's picking that up, but it has Ghostbusters, on the little spine there. It has a bit of weight to it. Obviously, it's about the size of a record, but it's not a record, obviously. But yeah, this is one I came across again at a thrift store. They had a bunch of these video discs. I actually got a few Star Wars ones and a Raiders of the Lost Ark one. I'll have to track down and see if they made a Ghostbusters 2 one or Back to the Future, because I'm big into those franchises as well. Now, this next one, I think it did come out a little later, but I'm just going to show it off here as well. This is the Criterion Collection Ghostbusters Laserdisc. It has a big write-up about the film on the back, along with, special features, this comes with the theatrical trailer and the theatrical teaser. It's in widescreen format, and it has cast and credits, not just the cast of people, playing the roles, but director of photography, film editor. Now, Criterion, they're definitely on the bigger side of things. And as you can see, the disc itself has the Ghostbusters logo in this blue font that I've never really seen much before. This is also replicated on the spine there. This I bought from a friend of mine. He had come into possession of a few different Laserdiscs. I bought this from him, 2 Indiana Jones ones, and Die Hard on Laserdisc. Now, before I show off this next tape, there is another tape that I used to have, and unfortunately I foolishly gave it away. I really regret that, because, in my later years, I've now come to really appreciate what had been done for me, and I really want to get it back, but I don't even remember who I gave it to now. But back when I was a kid, a friend of the family owned Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 on tape, and they recorded them both onto a single VHS tape for me. And then I made it even, more my own by adding little doodles of like the Ecto and Slimer and the Firehouse. Really wish I still had that. But right here we have the Ghostbusters VHS tape. Now, I believe this is the second release of it, since it doesn't have the embossed cover. Tape itself, as you can see, has the Ghostbusters logo there. Also, as you can tell, this was previously owned by someone named Gundel, whoever that was. So, Gundel, if you're watching, I now own your tape. But this was a version I didn't have when I discovered it. I'm like, oh, it doesn't have the embossment. Well, that needs to be mine. Pretty sure I found it at a thrift place. And yes, for anyone wondering, I do have the embossed version as well. Now this, similar to the Betamax, has the flap on the side that opens, the tape slides out. Basically this is what I think of. When I think of Ghostbusters VHSs, I think of these red border ones. Now, in this next spot should be Ghostbusters 2, but I do own Ghostbusters 2 on VHS, but I don't have a single copy of the regular one. I'll have to, or at least not a single copy of a normal regular one, I should say. Because in this, I have the 2-pack. Now, this is Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2, as you can see. I love the normal font for Ghostbusters, but with the Ghostbusters 2 logo there. And then on this side, you have the Ghostbusters tape cover On this side, you have the Ghostbusters 2. And then, obviously, these tapes just pull out. For Ghostbusters, it's, I think, the same as the other one, although this doesn't have a sticker on the side there. Or actually, no, this isn't the same as the other. This is different than the other, because I just noticed it's got this little inset image there. And the back looks different, so I guess this is differenter than I thought it was, but that's the Ghostbusters tape. Now, the Ghostbusters 2 one, though, I do believe this is the same as the Ghostbusters 2 tapes. Though, again, no label on the spine. I've always loved the Ghostbusters 2 logo. Not just the no ghost with the 2 fingers, but just like the green effect around it. And the other side has it written out, since this is, you know, still in the red border tapes vein. Slide that back in here. And on that side, you get the Ghostbusters 2 poster. Just looking to see. Okay, this was released in 1996, this set. So, bit more modern of a tape. Not the most modern VHS tape, mind you. Oh. Also, I guess I misspoke. I do have the regular. I didn't see it before, but we'll get to that one in a moment. First, this one. Now, this is not your normal Ghostbusters 2 tape, because as you can see, it has a little gold stamp. Now, that gold stamp says not for rental or resale, for promotional use only. And then it's also stamped on there on the side. Now, it's not... oh, wait. And there's also a sticker on the tape itself that says it. Needless to say, this is a promotional tape, you know, put out before the release of, you know, the regular version of the tape. So I am very honored to have found one of these. Again, local thrift store, you know, great find. Now we have the regular copy of Ghostbusters 2. And that does have the label on it, as did the promotional tape. I mean on the side, obviously they had the label on the top. Now the Ghostbusters 2 tape probably came out in '89. I'll have to double check on the Ghostbusters tape and see. '85 is when the Ghostbusters VHS tape came out. Okay, so next up is the 1999 VHS releases. Now, these had a fancy brand new cover. You had Slimer on the side with the red sky there. Slimer, again, with the cityscape. And then on the back, you had Dana sitting on the Ecto-1 seductively with a few images from the film. Now, this was the 1999 release. 15th anniversary edition is what it says on the label there. I don't remember if these had any special features to them or not. I feel like they did, but I don't recall what they were, since it's been a long, long time since I've actually watched one of my tapes. They also did Ghostbusters 2 at the same time. Now, this of course, has a regular number 2 there instead of, you know, the Roman numeral 2s that they had been using. The front has the same, I think it's the same shot from the original film, just modified to have the Ghostbusters 2 logo on the shoulders. And of course, at the top, you got the Scoleri brothers. Also, I need to mention Winston, you know, as always, gets the shaft on this, since he's not shown on the front cover. They do at least have him in an inset picture on the back. You got this great image of the Statue of Liberty. I love how they're shining a helicopter spotlight on it and police are showing up like, oh my god, the Statue of Liberty's attacking! It's like, that's not what happened in the film. I do have to mention, since I mentioned Winston getting shafted, at least he did appear on the front of the remastered Ghostbusters 1. He does appear on the other Ghostbusters 2 ones. He does not appear on the, at least on this side for the 2-pack. And he does appear on the Criterion Collection one. Okay. Next up, these might be a little older as well, but they are fairly unique. We got the Columbia TriStar Family Collection editions of Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. Now, these appear to have been put out in '96. I love the gold, clamshell they come in, the gold labeling on the top. And then that's what you got for the tape inside. And as I said, they also did Ghostbusters 2 in this same format. Clamshell for that's a little more beat up than my number 1. Those were, again, a lucky thrift store find. Next up, we have the only episode of the animated series I have on VHS, which is The Real Ghostbusters, The Bird of Kildarby, and Other Stories. Now, it has a good shot of the 4 Busters with the Bird of Kildarby on the front. The back has Slimer in what appears to be Winston's uniform. You got the Real Ghostbusters logo. In terms of the episodes on here, it's the Bird of Kildarby, Night Game, and Lost and Foundry. And there's the what the tape looks like. I think they made like 3 or 4 tapes, at least for the U.S. I know there were more tapes made for the foreign market. Now, this next one isn't exclusively a Ghostbusters tape, but I keep in my Ghostbusters collection. This is Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue. Now, it does fit the Ghostbusters theme because of Slimer over here. And he does show up in the special itself. This was a anti-drug PSA cartoon that was made in the early 90s as a way, well, 1990, as a way to make kids say no to drugs. It featured probably one of the most ambitious crossovers of the time. You had Slimer, Alf, Bugs Bunny and Daffy, Mickey Mouse. Wait, did Mickey Mouse show up? I don't remember if Mickey showed up. You had Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. You had the Smurfs, the Muppet Babies, Garfield, the Chipmunks, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Not to mention Michelangelo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think there were a few others, but I don't recall. If you ever want to know more about this, the Nostalgia Critic did a video about this. And if you want a really in-depth look at it, you should check out the St. Canard Files Darkwing Duck podcast review of it. Alright, so now we move on to DVD. So, first up, this was the first Ghostbusters DVD produced. This is obviously the same as the collector's edition VHS, though with the added feature of having DVD, items. We got the disc has the No Ghost logo all over it. Have the little booklet here, which if I can liberate it, show you guys a little peek inside. It's funny, the images they show here, one of them is from Ghostbusters 2. That one right there. Now, maybe it's because it talks about all of Ghostbusters, or maybe it's just because it was an oversight. You got the scene selection with Dana's apartment building there. In terms of special features, this featured world premiere live video commentary by Ivan Reitman, Harold Ramis, storyboards, split screen compares, production photos, conceptual drawings, deleted scenes, 1999 star featurette, DVD-ROM and web link, which I'm sure don't work anymore, SFX team documentary, SFX before and after multi-angle, original featurette and trailers, subtitled production notes, and it was digitally remastered, and it had 3D animated menus, which was a nice little treat. And of course, at the same time, they released Ghostbusters 2. Again, similar to the original Ghostbusters release, although it didn't get the fancy treatment for the disc that Ghostbusters got. It did get a little booklet, though. Remember when DVDs and Blu-rays used to come with those? You had a bit of info about it, and thankfully all the shots they used are from it, including that one there. And then at the bottom, I'm pretty sure that's, again, that image from the original film, though maybe that's actually them from Ghostbusters 2. But these were released in 1999. These were the first Ghostbusters DVDs released. But not the last, obviously. Because next up, we had this lovely little set. Now, this one actually belonged to a friend of mine named Mo, who gave it to me. I love the foil slime, aesthetic to it. Back is a little bare bones. Now, this set did come with a little booklet as well, but that's in my book area, not my movies. But they come in these thin cases. Guess we'll start with showing off Ghostbusters. In terms of the extras, it had a filmmaker's commentary, deleted scenes, making of featurettes, storyboards, and I think everything else from the original, though I could be wrong. The cover art is this wonderful Ghostbusters logo sketch. And then Ghostbusters 2, once again, kind of getting the shaft a little bit. It did feature 2 episodes from the real Ghostbusters. Citizen Ghost, which is one of the all-time great episodes, and Partner in Slime, which ties into Ghostbusters 2. Again, the disc has a drawn version of the Ghostbusters 2 logo. Now, this was the first time the episodes of the real Ghostbusters appeared on DVD. This set was released in 2005. I've also got this thicker case version for Ghostbusters. It's the same as the one there, right down to the disc being the same. Just that it's in a thicker case. I've also got this one from Ghostbusters 2, which I think this is probably just the same one from the case, but without the case. But it was cheap. It's like, yeah, I'll buy it. Now, this one is a bit more recent, though. This is a Ghostbusters 1 and 2 two-movie collection. They have the same kind of slime thing, and the back even shows the 2 discs from that. Now, this is, I believe, a little more recent. Yeah, 2017 they put this out. The discs inside, though, appear to be the same drawn versions. So I would imagine it's leftover stock with a new packaging. Found that at my local Dollar Tree. Then we have this, which is the Ghostbusters collection. Now, this is still in its shrink wrap, so I'm not going to be able to show you guys the inside of this one, but it's a double feature. It has the same slime motif with the original Ghostbusters logo on the front. Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 shown there. The special features are the same. You know, comes in this interesting little golden bronze slip cover that does feature the Ghostbusters logo in like a shadow form there. Also shows it on the side. Let's see if this has a date on it. 2008. I believe that was a Walmart or a Target one. Where's the next one I need? This one. So we're moving on from DVD for the moment, though we'll eventually come back because I've got a few more DVDs. But now, Blu-ray. The Ghostbusters 1 and 2 Blu-ray set has the ghost holding up both a 1 finger and a 2 finger to symbolize it's both movies. The back has all 4 Ghostbusters from the original. And there's a lot of brand new special features. Both movies get quite a bit of love on this one. For Ghostbusters, the special features are Who You Gonna Call? A Ghostbusters retrospective, roundtable discussion with director Ivan Reitman and Dan Aykroyd, Ghostbusters music video, poster art gallery, plus all the original special features from the DVDs. Ghostbusters 2 got Time Is But a Window, Ghostbusters 2 and Beyond, a roundtable discussion with Dan Aykroyd and Ivan Reitman, deleted scenes, and the On Our Own music video. Now this actually has a little booklet here. Hold on, though, I need to move something out of the image before we continue. If I can get it out. There. Okay. Still have the digital code unused, so I want to keep them that way. But this actually comes with a neat little book in the DVD that has a bit about the original Ghostbusters, shows off some of the storyboards, some behind-the-scenes images. Love that image of the Ecto-1. Then we got a section on Ghostbusters 2. Again, behind-the-scenes images, the story of the movie. Then we got little blurbs on Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd. These are 1984 bios. Harold Ramis and Ernie Hudson. Rick Moranis, Sigourney Weaver. Then there's a personal note from Ivan Reitman, along with a bio of Ivan. This was for the 30th anniversary. This is just kind of stuck in here. It had some sticky stuff, I think, on the edge, which is fine since I want to keep it with this. Oh, it also advertises the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack and Krispy Kreme. Guess they had a promotion going at the time. Oh, and I could save $3 on dinner. And then we got the 2 discs. As you can see, they're in this one over the other thing, each one featuring the logos of their respective movies. Now let me just put my code back in here because I want to keep it in this. But this was released in 2014. That was the first Blu-ray release. Then Ghostbusters itself got a single release on the Blu-ray Essentials Best of Blu-ray set. This features, for special features, they specifically mention Slimer Mode Picture-in-Picture and Pop-Up Trivia Track, Ecto-1 Resurrecting the Classic Car, Ghostbusters Garage, Ecto-1 Photo Gallery, Making of Ghostbusters the Video Game, plus original special features. This set was released in 2011. Wait, hold on. 2011, when was this one? 2014. Okay, so this wasn't the first Ghostbusters Blu-ray. Good to know. Has this, like, it's the same slime background as the other ones, but this time in blue. It's one of those ones that you have to unclasp it, though the Blu-ray disc itself is pretty cool looking. And then the slipcover has just an image of the disc of the case, plus foiling Ghostbusters. Oh, and then that side has the name that way. Next up, we have Ghostbusters 2 on Blu-ray. Now, this says on the back that it's mastered in 4K, so I guess this is the 4K release, or at least one of the 4K releases. For special features, it has Time Is But a Window, Ghostbusters 2 and Beyond, discussion with director Ivan Reitman and Dan Aykroyd, deleted scenes, On Our Own music video by Bobby Brown. This was released in 2014. This is what the disc looks like. It's the same disc that's in the other set. And I do have a code with it. I don't know if that code still works or not, since this was a thrift store find. Next up, we have my least favorite movie in the franchise. I really only own these because it's a Ghostbusters physical media collection, and it's not complete without copies of this, but this is the DVD copy of Ghostbusters Answer the Call. Special features are Jokes Aplenty, A Free-for-All, Meet the Team, Visual Effects 30 Years Later, Slime Time, Directors and Writers Commentary, Filmmaker Commentary, and a photo gallery. And it tells you to get more with the extended edition on Blu-ray. And then there's the disc inside, along with a little booklet. And speaking of the Blu-ray extended edition, we have that here. We got that and that for features, 2 hysterical haunting gag reels, 4 unearthed deleted scenes, 11 totally possessed alternate scenes, undertaking a supernatural feat, 5 making of featurettes, filmmaker commentaries, Escaped from the Cutting Room outtakes, The Patty Show, Holtzman Gone Wild, Kevin Unleashed, and more. Also includes theatrical version of the movie. And then there's the disc itself, along with a code. So, obviously I'm not a fan of the movie. I didn't like the humor. I didn't like the effects. It had an agenda to it I didn't like either. Like, it felt like it was trying to be another movie using the Ghostbusters name to get made. You know, there are parts to it I do like. Very few. Like, I think Holtzman's character was wonderful. And the sad thing is, the characters in that movie, if they are written competently, they can be good. There are IDW comics that they appear in that are good. They're fine reads. So, that's all I'm going to say on the matter. It wasn't a movie I enjoyed, but I am not going to bash on anyone that did. Let's continue our showing off. This is one of the holy grails for Ghostbusters physical media collections. This is the what did they call this? Ultimate Collection Ghostbusters. Now, as you see, it comes in this trap box. It's meant to mimic the trap, like that's the bottom of the trap. These would be the sides, the back and front, and the top. As you can see, it has this little slip cover that simulates the lightning and tells you what it is. The discs are kept in here. Now, I don't normally keep my discs in here, but for presentation's sake, I decided to. You open it up. you pull the movies out, and the trap lights up. Light is green, the trap is clean. Now, I have to be a little careful because it does have the code still with it as well, which is the only way you get Ghostbusters Answer the Call is if you have that code in it. Or at least the only way you get it with this. It also has, and again, it's not with this because I keep it in my book section, but it has a small recreation of the Making Ghostbusters book by Don Shea. Now, someday I want to add the real one of that to my collection. In terms of the movies, though, we got Ghostbusters. Image of Zool or Gozer on the back. All 4 Busters are accounted for on the front. Now, this is obviously 4K Ultra HD, and they're all shown on the back as well. Now, there are some special features on the disc, but most of the special features are saved for the actual special features disc. But this does have commentary featuring director Ivan Reitman, star/co-writer Harold Ramis, and associate producer Joe Medjic. Now, needless to say, that was recorded before, because this was released after Harold Ramis's passing. Fan commentary moderated by Ghost Core Eric Reich, and Slimer Mode picture-in-picture track. And then you have the 2 discs, the regular and the Ultra HD. Now, my copy of this came with the Ghostbusters. I want to say it was the regular movie was accounted for, but the 4K one was another copy of the Ghostbusters 2 4K. Now, this was a common problem people who bought this set had. And I reached out to Sony and whatnot, didn't hear anything back for ages and ages and ages. Finally, I decided, okay, well, to heck with this. I'm just going to go on eBay and buy the disc because I didn't want to wait anymore. I got it in, and within a week of finally buying it and getting it, they finally got back to me and said, hey, your replacement is in the mail. It's like, well, that was ill timing. So I ended up having an extra copy of the disc, which I ended up putting with my extra copy of the Ghostbusters 2 one in an extra copy of the special features case that the other person had shipped it with. And I ended up selling it to someone. But yeah, it was a bit of a hassle to get this movie to be complete. But luckily I did. Now we got Ghostbusters 2. You got the logo there. The words. And then Vigo on the back. You got all 4 Busters again in the shot. On the back you got the Ecto 1A, which is my favorite Ecto in terms of the special feature. Commentary featuring director Ivan Reitman, star/co-writer Dan Aykroyd, and executive producer Joe Medjic. And then there's the 2 discs, the regular Blu-ray and the 4K one. Then we have Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, this is currently my only Blu-ray copy of this movie. I don't have the regular DVD. I don't have the other Blu-rays. I do intend to get them at some point, since, as you've seen by now, I'm a bit of a completionist when it comes to this. But we got the cover with the Ecto. Ecto's on the back. I forgot to mention the mini puffs on the slip cover. This one for bonus features, your guide to ghosts, gadgets, and Easter eggs with over 45 minutes of bonus content on Blu-ray. We got one, Easter eggs revealed, Ghostbusters A Look Back, bringing Ecto 1 back to life, the Gearhead's Guide to Ghostbusters Gadgets, deleted scene, and more. And then for the discs, you got the Ecto 1 and the mini puffs on the discs. And then you got the special features. Now, this it comes in more of a clamshell one. Got the two discs there. Unfortunately, it doesn't give a rundown of what's on here, but suffice to say, it has everything the previous sets had, plus a lot of new things. There were newly discovered Ghostbusters 2 deleted scenes, including the Lewis's cousin Sherman. You know, those scenes were rediscovered. Alright, let's get these back in here. But yeah, I do keep both of these on the shelf displayed together. I just keep the actual the discs out of this. That way I can see them on the shelf. But set that back in. Now that is the last of the movies that I have in terms of the Ghostbusters films. Like I said, I do intend at some point to get the Afterlife DVD and the other Afterlife Blu-rays. There's the 2 other versions of the 4K releases of Ghostbusters I intend to get. Like, I want to have them all at some point. You know, like Pokemon. Gotta catch them all! That being said, the next item is definitely a holy grail for a lot of folks. And if you've actually watched one of my collectibles corners, you already know the story of this, but for anyone that hasn't, I will tell it. This is the Time Life the real Ghostbusters complete collection. Have the lenticular Moogly there. You got a lenticular Slimer on the back. You can see through the windows, you know, well, not see through them, but they're printed to have things, including Ecto-1 pulling out there, because you got Ecto-1 coming out on the front. Now, this is the Time Life set. It came in its own special box and features 5 steel books and a booklet. Now, this is incredibly hard to get. You know, tracking this down will cost you upwards of like $700 at this point. Oh, a neat little thing that some folks may not know is if you look at the back of the sets from this is volume 1 here, but as it goes, you can see the Ghostbusters logo is getting sucked into the trap until it's gone. So we got volume 1. Now, the one thing I don't like about the set is that all the discs are they have a bit of a stacking to them, so it is kind of hard to get to them. A neat little touch is the back of the steel books have, like, illustrations. That one is, I believe, the PKE meter, or, yeah, PKE meter. There we go. It's hard to gauge, like, the direction I think I need to go in to show something isn't quite the direction I need to go. Well, that didn't work out so well. I was trying to put them back in, and the box just fell. Well, I'll have to retrieve it after. So, that's the cover art for Volume 2, which features, I believe, the Ecto goggles. I want to do this carefully because I would hate to try and take one of the... Oh no, Ghost Sniffer. That's the Ghost Sniffer, folks. Then we got Volume 3, which, in terms of the background thing, looks like it's the actual proton pack itself. Yep. The proton pack. Now, I believe all of these images on the insides are the actual the model sheet sketches. Oh, before we open Volume 4, I'll show off Volume 4. easily my favorite of the steelbook covers, because it's got the Ecto. And then the inside has the Neutrona wand. And then volume 5 features the group with the containment unit and Janine in uniform. Melnitz in uniform! Now this one will be a little harder to see what it is, because this is a 4-disc set, so instead of having one thing to remove, I'd have to remove 2 of them. Come on. Okay, well, it doesn't want to come out this time, and I am not about to force it and end up damaging this. So, like, that's the whole reason why I don't even watch these anymore, because I know this set's so expensive. Like, they really need to re-release all of the real Ghostbusters on a convenient DVD set. It's like, there's an option to get some of them, but the option that you can get isn't everything. Now, that being said, it did come with a bonus disc as well that had a bunch of features. This had the original 4-minute pilot for the real Ghostbusters, as well as a commentary for the pilot, extended interviews with Joe Medjick, Michael C. Gross, J. Michael Straczynski, Kevin Altery, Maurice LaMarche, I met him, Laura Summer, and Kath Seuss. There was a DVD promo trailer, alternate series credits, a slideshow of all the title cards, and material for DVD-ROM that had series Bibles and promo pilot storyboards for the real Ghostbusters in PDF format. And then it also came with this booklet that basically, it's like a little episode guide, and it tells you all of the special features, because every volume has its own special features. You know, image galleries, you know, featurettes. Some of the episodes themselves have their own, you know, commentaries or isolated music and effects tracks, you know. If you do have this set in your collection, count yourselves lucky you have such a grail. If you don't have the set and you can get it, I highly recommend it. Otherwise, we have to hope that Sony will eventually decide that we're good enough to receive it. Oh, in terms of how I got this, that was actually a Christmas or a birthday gift from my parents the year it came out. That is the one thing I wanted, and bless their souls, well, bless their hearts and their souls, since I still have one of them. But they made it happen. You know, I'm sure they were thinking that the original retail was a bit high, but the retail now, oh yeah, good thing to have gotten it when it came out. Alright, next up is one of the real Ghostbusters individual DVDs that were produced. Now, these came out in 2006. This one is Real Ghostbusters Spooky Spirits. It has the episodes Ghostbuster of the Year, The Revenge of Murray the Mantis, Drool the Dog-Faced Goblin, and Mr. Sandman Dream Me a Dream. The disc itself has Stay Puft, as well as showing which ones you can get, which is Slime Fighters, Spooky Spirits, and Creatures of the Night. Currently, I only have Spooky Spirits and Creatures of the Night. I need to find Slime Fighters at some point. And then, speaking of Creatures of the Night, that's this one right here. In terms of the episodes, it has Night Game, The Bird of Kildarby, Lost and Foundry, and Killerwatt. And it's interesting to note that 3 of those episodes are the same three that was featured on The Bird of Kildarby and other stories. So I have to wonder now, if I got the other ones of these and I checked, would they correspond with those DVD sets? This also has the little insert inside, as well as the disc featuring the 4 Ghostbusters. Next up is the newest item in my collection. Now, on the one hand, I'm happy to finally have this, considering the fact I was starting to think we might never get it. But on the same time, I feel they cheaped out. This is Extreme Ghostbusters, the complete series. That's right, folks. We now can own all of Extreme Ghostbusters. Now, that being said, the discs themselves are incredibly bare bones. It looks like they're going to just feature the episodes. The episodes, from what I heard, are in rough shape. Like, they look like they were pulled from, like, VHS tapes. They're grainy and unfocused. And, insult to injury, they're not in, continuity. They're not in order, either. So, it does feel like they went a little cheap on it, but I'm just happy to at least have it, since with that and Extreme and the real Ghostbusters, I now have all of them. Okay, next up, we will do these. Since we have graduated from the movies, now we're on to the music. Starting us off is this little, I think these are called 45s. This is the Ghostbusters theme song, the Ray Parker Jr. one, as well as the instrumental. Now, I'm sure this had an actual, case that had artwork and stuff, but this is the only version of it I have at the moment. Probably have to look into getting a new one of that at some point. See if I can. 1984 is the copyright date on it. Then we have a single record, Ghostbusters, Searching for the Spirit, the blockbusting theme from the hit movie, or from the Ghostbusting movie, they say. Now this has, for A-side, Ghostbusters Searching for the Spirit, and B-side is the Ghostbusters dub instrumental version. On the back, you got Ray Parker Jr. with the Ghostbusters. Now, this was another Asteria Records one. I don't know if it's... No, it's not supposed to be able to open up like a book, I can see. But this, let's see, 1984 is the copyright date on that. Then we have the actual soundtrack album. This was most likely 1989. Yep. Probably a harder one to find, so I'm okay with that. my camera's been giving me a little bit of issues. Like the other day when I was recording a Lego Marvel gameplay video, it froze up, and right at the end when I was stopping, now it appears to be frozen at the 54:30 second mark. And it looks like it just quit on me. That is not good. Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties. Give it a moment. Oh, it is still recording, apparently. Though it's still showing it frozen to me, so that's not good. Come on. Come on. Work yourself through. Okay, it looks like we're back to normal now. At least for the moment. So, like I said, this is the original Ghostbusters cassette tape soundtrack. Nice little image of the Busters. This has all the same songs as the record had. Along with other Ray Parker Jr. songs. There's the tape. See if the booklet has. $1984. Then next up, we have the soundtrack for Ghostbusters 2. Now, this is side by side in a moment. Ghostbusters is the run. Notice, this one has a black border. The blue color. And this, I believe, was all 1989. Yep, 1989. Then we have that same Bobby Brown on our own single, this time in the cassette form. So it's neat having both formats for that. And then I have the cassette from the book and cassette, Ghostbusters Meet the Laser Ghost. Now, I think I have the book somewhere. This is one of those turn the page things. Copyrights, well, it says copyright 1984, but we know that can't be right, considering the fact that the real Ghostbusters didn't, show up until 1986. I do love seeing the Ecto 1 on the cassette tape. That's a neat little touch. And then we move on from that to the CDs. We're almost done, though, folks. After this, all we've got left is video games. So first off, we got the soundtrack album for Ghostbusters. Now this is part of the Priceless collection. This is the same songs that are on the original soundtrack. Ghostbusters, Cleaning Up the Town, Saving the Day, In the Name of Love, I Can Wait Forever, Hot Night, Magic, main title theme, Dana's theme, and Ghostbusters instrumental. And they got the disc itself looks like that, and it looks like the No Ghost logo is, behind the disc. And the rest of this is just an advertisement, it appears. And then I got this version of the soundtrack, which is very similar, but it has a larger white border. Also on the back, it just has the track listing instead of the logo. You can see the spines are different too. But is the booklet different? Well, the booklet is not much of a booklet at all. It's only a single sheet. And then you got the disc itself. And those are all the same tracks, again, as the other one. Then we have Ghostbusters, the original motion picture score. Sorry, I didn't just realize I didn't tell you copyright dates on these. So 1984 is what it says on this one. This is 2005. This is definitely later than 84 anyway, though, because CDs I don't think were around when Ghostbusters first came out. Anyway, so this is the original picture score. I love how it's got the Ecto on the back. Now, this was released in 2019. Now, this is all of the instrumental themes that Elmer Bernstein made. Tracks on here is the Ghostbusters theme, Library, Bankman, Hello, The Best One in Your Row, Get Her! Plan, Dana's theme, Fridge and Sign, Attack, Client, Dana's Apartment, Same Problem, We Got One! Zool Part 1, Meeting 1, I Respect You, Who Brought the Dog, Zool Part 2, Steel Drum, Cross Rip, News, Judgment Day, Mistake, Halls, Bath, Ballroom, Trap, Meeting 2, Earthquake, Stairwell, Gozer, Let's Go, We're Going to Save the World, Mr. Stay Puft, Final Battle, Finish, and then Zool album version. Now the disc itself has the 4 busters. You can also see them on the booklet, because this actually has a bona fide good booklet. It features information about, the making of the music, features images. There's that nice shot of the Ecto again. And then it has all of the people that worked on making the music on the back with images of the Busters and Dana and Lewis on top. Next up, we have the original Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack. Now, this is the same as the one on the tape. Got the images on the back. Copyright date of 1989. Disc itself is very bare bones. And the booklet itself is fairly lightweight, though it does open up and show the tracks and the title. Then we got the original motion picture score for Ghostbusters 2. Now this was Randy Edelman. In the back you can see Statue of Liberty in the museum. This was released in 2021. Obviously I had to have this, having the other one. The disc has the Ghostbusters 2 logo. You can see the Busters with the judge on the back of the booklet. And this does get not as big a booklet, I don't think, but it does still get a booklet. Got pink slime, pink slime, the bathtub, the Ecto-1A, the Busters with Dana. Got some publicity shots from the film. And some more images at the back there. This one doesn't get quite the same amount of love as the other one did, but still gets a fair amount of love, and I'm just happy that we actually got these. In terms of the music, it also has a bit less on it. A Few Friends Save Manhattan, A Baby Carriage Meets Heavy Traffic, Venkman's 6th Avenue Stunt, Order in the Court, He's Got Carpathian Eyes, The Sensitive Side of Dana, In Liberty's Shadow, Rooftop Broom Kidnap, The Scoleri Brothers, Oscar is Quietly Surrounded, A Slime Darkened Doorway, One Leaky Sewer Faucet, Vigo's Last Stand, Good with Kids, Enlightenment, Family Portrait / Finale. And then up next, finally, for the music part, we have the Ghostbusters Answer the Call motion picture soundtrack. Now this, for tracks, it has Ghostbusters Walk the Moon, or rather, the song titles are Ghostbusters, Saw It Comin', Good Girls, Girls Talk Boys, Who, Ghostbusters, Ghoster, Ghostbusters I'm Not Afraid, which is the worst rendition of a Ghostbusters. Up in Here, DMX, which is actually a song I like. Rhythm of the Night, American Woman, Want Some More, and then Ghostbusters Ray Parker Jr. And it looks like at least 2 of these songs don't even appear in the film. Now, obviously, this was released in 2016. The disc has their version of Moogly with the words Who You Call on the booklet. Booklet appears to be rather thick. You know, it's like, I will say one thing. As much as I don't like the movie, the people who made it were passionate about it. Has this fold-out poster. And then on the other side it has song info and a few more images. And with that, we've come to the last section of this video. These are the video games. So, starting us off with the original NES Ghostbusters. That's right, I have the one that has congratulations. You have completed a great game and proved the justice of our culture. Now go and rest, our heroes. Obviously, this was put out in probably 1985 or 86, because the NES itself, I believe, was released in 85, if I remember correctly. It's a terrible game, and no, I've never beaten it. Now, much better games that I have beaten: Ghostbusters, the video game for the PlayStation 2. Now, this is put out in 2009. This has the more cartoony graphics. The Wii version and the PS2 version had cartoonier graphics. As you can see, there's the disc. Then you got the manual that is in black and white. Shows you how to get going on things. Basically, it tells you everything you gotta know to start up playing. And then we got Stay Puft on the back of it. Now, they released 5 different versions. Well, technically more than 5, but 5 originally were released. There was this one. Then there was the Xbox 360 version. This is the one of the 2 that had more realistic graphics. You know, same game, same story. This one features Best Buy exclusive downloadable content, which I don't know if it works anymore. Probably not. Got the man. Such a good game. I highly recommend it. Looks like this also has a DLC code. Again, I don't know if it works anymore. I'm assuming I would. In terms of other versions of the game, they actually remastered this called Ghostbusters the Video Game Remastered. That is, and probably Xbox, well, Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and it's probably for the Xbox Series X and the PS5 as well, but don't quote me on that. And if you do want to see me play that game, I have done a whole playthrough of it over on my gaming channel, though I do not own a physical copy of that game. That's obviously, I only have the digital version on my game system. I also have the video game Ghostbusters Sanctum of Slime on one of my systems, but don't have that physical. But yeah, that was my entire Ghostbusters physical media collection. I do hope everyone did enjoy it. You know, I certainly enjoyed making the video in spite of technical difficulties where my camera froze up on me. Hopefully the footage of me isn't frozen at that point. Hopefully I'll be able to put this together well. I'll find out soon, but that's going to do it for this episode. Once again, thank you all to helping me get to 500 subscribers. It really does mean a lot. But until next time, this has been DMC Jedi Man, and I am signing out. Peace, everybody.